Lacrosse is sweeping its way throughout the nation. People are unaware that it was played by the ancient people who walked this earth before us, but to them it was much more than a game. Way back, lacrosse wasn't called lacrosse. It was called bagataway, also known as Little Brother of War. The game had been played on a field miles long, with no padding, and much more brutal than it is played today. The game now is played on a field about 110 yards long. Today, lacrosse is just called lacrosse, but players wear padding such as shoulder pads, elbow pads, helmet, mouthpiece, gloves, and a rib pad is optional. Here in Evansville, lacrosse is starting to grow. It had been around for about 5 to 6 years now. Since the organization started, the high school teams have grown. Evansville now has school teams that include Harrison, Memorial, Castle, North, Central, Wrights, and Modern Day with the JV team. I interviewed Mark Turner, one of the men who helped start lacrosse here at Evansville. How long has lacrosse been around here in Evansville, and how did it start and where?
About 5 years ago, Larry Goldstein approached me about starting a lacrosse program. I thought it was a great idea. Actually, our first practice was at Evansville Day School.
How has the youth program affected the skills of the high school play?
Well, I think with the youth program, they're already, when they hit high school, they're already way ahead of the game, and their IQ is better, and their stick skills and the knowledge of the game is so much better than if they were just starting out, as high schoolers.
How has the community responded to lacrosse?
Well, we started out with 50 kids, now we got almost 500, so I think it's been fantastic.
What things can lacrosse players do around the community to spread the growth of lacrosse?
I think having their stick with them wherever they go, and when everybody asks what that, thing is, and you tell them it's a lacrosse stick and explain the game to them. Take your friends to practice, take your friends to a game, anything to give them some knowledge of the game.
What can lacrosse offer to kids?
Well, lacrosse is known as the fastest game on 2 feet, so the biggest thing it can offer them is a lot of exercise.
What makes lacrosse special?
Well, lacrosse has a history. It's probably one of the oldest sports that the Americans or North Americans ever, known through the Indians. Lacrosse is it's a combination of a lot of sports. Like you run up and down a field like in a soccer. You kind of play offense like a basketball, and there's hitting and checking like hockey and football.
What can kids learn from lacrosse, such as leadership, respect, and physical play?
Well, the leadership, I think, comes from being a good role model. Teaching the older kids, teaching the younger kids, the game and understanding the game. As far as respect, we teach our players to respect the field, respect their other players, respect the refs. So there's a great deal that goes on.
What can you expect from lacrosse here at Evansville over the next few years?
Well, it's it's gangbusters. Who knows how big it's going to get? I think the youth program will probably double. I would think that every high school team will have a girls and boys lacrosse by in a few years.
Is there anything you'd like to say to all the players out there, or how they can help improve their skills?
Oh, sure. As far you always have to have your stick with you. We call, we tell them always to find a wall and play wall ball. Learn the game, read some books, watch videos, watch games on TV.
What can we expect from the lacrosse players further down the road?
Oh, I think further down, we've already got some kids playing in college already. I think there'll just be more. Lacrosse around here has started to sweep its way through the people too, instead of through schools. Recently, in the fall of 2012, an Indian lacrosse field at Angel Mounds was discovered. Players of all ages went out to play on this field and learned about how the game was played before their time. There was a youth scrimmage, then a high school scrimmage, which led to a tough battle between the two teams, making both games close. This was a great opportunity for the boys and girls who came out to learn about the background of the game. As Evansville lacrosse continues to grow, kids are now picking up a stick, going outside, and growing the game. Each day, kids around Evansville have practice and work harder each day for lacrosse. To you players out there, give your friends a stick to play with and make them learn the game. Games are happening each week and weekend. Be sure to take your friends to a game and help them learn.